I don't think they're also dating anymore.
Which is fun.
Oh, by the way, I have gossip on him also. So basically, before he was dating this other girl, and then he
What's her name?
I don't know the name. It was some like struggling actor type person only. And what happened was that he used to होगा ना ये.
Yeah, don't know.
भाई मैं writer हूँ.
You are entering the Overthink Tank.
Hi, it's me, Surbhi, and you're watching your favorite podcast, the Overthink Tank. And on this podcast, I overthink with some really cool people, so you don't have to. Sorry, I said cool by mistake. I want to take that again.
Oh, wow, okay.
Number 1, Govind Menon.
Hi, what's up?
Number 2, Vagmita.
नमस्ते.
Namaste, Vagmita. Are you ready to gossip?
मुझे चाटा मार के उठाओगे 2 बजे, मैं बुरा नहीं मानूंगी if you tell me you have gossip.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because today's topic is I'm a bubbly 25-year-old gal who, let's be honest, can't resist a good gossip session. But lately, a weird feeling of guilt has been creeping up on me. I've been pondering why us humans just love to gossip. Seriously, what's the deal with that? Can you help me figure out why we're so drawn to it? Is there a way to find a balance between satisfying your curiosity and being a responsible gossiper? Yours truly, curious and gossipy.
ये जरूर थेरेपी जाती है लड़की.
हाँ ना, ये this is therapy language. This is not how normal.
मैं फील कर रही हूँ. How to balance? अरे,
Are you shitting on someone with good mental health?
I think she used to
as
gossip.
people with bad mental
Yeah.
health, we're allowed to
we're
do
allowed.
that.
Oh, we're just allowed to do that.
And also, there's nothing as a responsible gossip.
Yeah.
If you're gonna gossip, just gossip.
own
Man,
it.
don't get it. Yeah,
हाँ.
own it.
हाँ.
Just own that you're a
ये है कि
shitty
मैं
person.
हरामी हूँ तो हूँ, अब मुझे करनी है gossip. In Bombay, what happens is that you all sit and you all have a proper shit talking session for 2-3 hours, and then you end it with saying, "But nice guy, bro. But what a nice
But
guy."
हमें क्या?
हाँ, but ठीक है, वो जाने तो that is, it's a very Bombay thing. That is, I think, Bombay's way of responsible.
Yeah, that's a responsible gossip. But end में बस.
But ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं.
ठीक है यार, everyone has their own things, you know. Nobody is black and white. That's a great. But immediately in a gossip session, imagine, 3 of us are gossiping and suddenly you have shat on one person, you have shat on the same person, and I'm not giving any input. Won't you like just want to stab me?
No, if you're listening, it's fine.
yeah.
But if you say, ki, listen, I can't take a stance and all. If you refuse to gossip with us and then you take a stance, and we're like, तो तू क्यों बैठी है?
Matlab, basically, you've got to like gossip to also sort of bond. It is the social bonding thing, right? Even if I don't have any shit on someone, I'll be like, no, just to be friendly with these people, let me shit on this person.
But sometimes I'm afraid if they're friends with the person
ये
I'm
मेरे साथ बहुत
gossiping.
बार हुआ है.
Yeah, I know that ये इतने बार हुआ because I had no filter. I used to just gossip and bitch about people.
Yeah.
And then later I figured out they're best friends. And I'm like, well, okay, cool. No problem.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Now they're bitching about me, I guess. That's okay. I get.
It's not just a bonding exercise, but it's a very... Basically, all of us have like a society self and a shadow self. A society self is the front we put up. That is our super ego, which is something we train ourselves to do as human beings, which are part of like a civilized society. And our shadow or the id is the animalistic part of us, or the parts of us that we hide, like being promiscuous or having thoughts about like cheating on someone else, or so what we do is we reject that shadow part. And when we see that shadow part played out in someone else, we love that because it gives us a moral high ground.
Oh shit.
And that's why people gossip, because it gives you a moral high ground when you sit and shit on someone, not knowing that you're actually shitting on yourself, because everything you're talking about is something that's there in your head as well.
Oh
Shit.
my God.
I was just going to say it's fun, but you came up with a proper explanation about why we gossip. Okay. Yeah.
I
Makes
think
sense though. It does.
मजे भी आते हैं, but ये भी है.
It is so fun though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So forget the science behind why our brains do this. What is the instant gratification that we get out of this? It's definitely, getting a good laugh. Like sometimes, honestly, I am just sitting and like, I don't need to just, make up stories. But like, I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's just add a little masala to it. Let's just get a little response. And sometimes literally for a good joke, I would like, let out some information that I shouldn't.
I think it's the joke part. I don't know if that's it for everyone, but then with stand-up comedians, I know it's just to add jokes to that gossip and just make it your own. And then
But imagine that being done to you. Like, one thing happened. I'm like, oh, okay, Govind got hit by a truck. But then the gossip to that is
That's
gossiping
gossip?
बहुत sad बात है भाई.
that's gossip. What are you gossiping about, Surbhi?
मौत से जूझ रहा है.
What? Okay, I want to know what you're going to add to this
He's
gossip.
flatlining.
That's no one's aid that you are identifying. मेरे को भी मरना है truck से.
I'm scared of getting hit by a truck. Maybe that's it. But okay, we hear some gossip. Govind is going around with some person. He's promiscuous. So, but we will obviously imagine we add some information to it and then you hear it back. Won't it pain you?
I mean, if it's funny, I guess it's...
Oh, you'll also enjoy.
No, I won't enjoy it, but if it's funny, it dampens it. It softens the blow a bit. If it's funny, that other.
Either it has to be so salacious and funny that I'm like, wow, यार,
Yeah,
क्या
exactly.
दिमाग है इसका? ये सही gossip है,
Have
चलो
you heard,
बनता है.
like, a
कोई इतना effort
salacious-
डाला
Yeah.
मेरे बारे में यार, man, I'm a little I feel
Yeah.
good that you thought about me for more than 5 minutes. That's great too.
For more than 5 minutes. Okay, guys, have you heard any salacious gossip about yourself that was laughable?
Salacious तो नहीं, but something that अब I don't know, it pissed me off obviously because I was just like, अच्छा उनको नहीं पता मैं they don't know my story. It's my fight song.
Know my name, not my story.
Yeah. So I read somewhere कि she's how does she take all these trips? She's loaded. I was like, भाई तू पड़ोसी है क्या मेरी? तो है कौन तू? ठीक है तो मतलब things like this, like if you've worked hard for something and if you are like this is something that you're celebrating, it's very personal to you. And people are just ruining it for you only. Nobody cares. ठीक है किसी को लग रहा है कि मैं अमीर हूँ तो ठीक है सोचने दो भाई मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है. But मुझे फर्क पड़ रहा है ना उससे. I am personally affected by it because I know how I've made this money.
Correct.
तो it's and then obviously I tell myself कि नहीं वो नहीं पी रहे ना प्रोजेको फ्रांस में गांड मरा है तो.
Are you
What?
Loaded.
loaded?
It's my own earned
No,
money.
no,
I
no.
am, yes.
Yeah.
But it's my own money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Govind, what about you? Have you heard some gossip about yourself?
In school, someone, I think that was the weirdest one.
In school.
Yeah, I mean the usual ones about me liking someone.
Oh, अच्छा
To just
लग रहा
put context to it, I talked to 0 girls in school. I used to run away
है. हाँ.
if girls were around because I couldn't talk to them.
Yeah.
And then people used to just be like, hey, this guy likes this girl. And then it just spread for 3 years.
Yeah, I get that.
For 3 years. And I was like, okay, if this makes me cool, because I was uncool too. So I was like, okay, if this makes me cool, then it's great. Didn't even make me cool in the class.
I've always been the person in school who spreads the gossip. Like who, first of all, makes up a gossip. Like it's imaginary. Like it's none of this is real.
Yeah.
So by the time it even goes to the person who it's about, they'll be like, oh, this is just fantastical. Like it's otherworldly information. So it'll just, make it so laughable that it doesn't hurt the person.
Mine was laughable.
Okay,
I
what
was
was
an
it?
overweight, short kid.
Yeah.
With,
See, that's good. I think that's good gossip. That's like
yeah,
push.
yeah.
That's sort of like I'm rooting for you. You can date someone.
Yeah, there was nothing. I was running away from them.
Okay, here's some facts on gossip. Water coolers, this sacred place to gossip around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Water coolers and dustbins in school when you used to go to sharpen your pen and then
Oh, yeah.
gossip at that time. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that reminds
Sharpen
me
your
of a-
pencil, not pen. And you all also were like, करते रहेंगे.
We just agreed.
Clearly never been to school. Yeah, sharpening our pens. Anyway, but historically, there's a bunch of gossip since the time of the Egyptians. Apparently, the Egyptians will gossip about their queen being bald. This is basically a hieroglyphic, which is all their sacred carvings. And if you decipher it, it's basically them gossiping about how their queen was bald.
So much mehnat for gossip.
Yeah,
like,
na? They can just talk. They're like, no, let me draw for you. Then you just look at it, figure
And
out.
now it's just like one reel and like now it's viral bhayani straight up, one phone.
The
oh, you
bubble.
remember if like women, like in school, I was in a girls' school. So, like if some girl had a very bad breakup, then she would post his number on the bathroom. And as girl solidarity, we would be like, "Aaj us बहन के लौड़े को गाली देंगे सब घर जाके." All of us were like कुत्ते. Like it's just like very girl.
So they would carve out the...
In the washroom, they would write the name Pankaj, fuck you, like that. And then uska Pankaj ka number. So Pankaj was the target for every bored girl in the
और फिर
girls' school.
जब खुन्नस खत्म हो गया तो
तो
क्या?
दूसरा पंकज आता था.
अच्छा ठीक है.
दूसरा नंबर रहता था.
Has it been the same person twice or thrice कि ये वापस चूतिया है?
There was, like in school, there was always this one group of girls who were all friends, but they were so fucking dumb that they didn't know one guy was dating all of them.
Wow,
and they thought
don't
कि
attack me.
किसी को नहीं पता. And all of them didn't know that he was dating all of them.
He was doing a good job.
Yeah, and he was like in his 20s. It was predatory behavior. Like now it's very dark.
I mean, school gossip is another level because you want your friends to know, but like you also don't want them to know because drinks ho jayega, you know.
Oh, वो तो अभी भी नजर लगती है मुझे.
Nazar lag jati
Yeah,
hai.
I'm like that
you
still.
wanna like brag and be like, yes, I am going out with him, but you're like, nahi, abhi nahi, it's too
Yeah,
new.
yeah. और झगड़ा हो गया तो ये कुतिया इसको बताया था मैंने.
Since all of us in this room are kind of in showbiz, and like showbiz goes hand in hand with gossip, you know, you've got a network. And like, let's be honest, a big part of networking is like, gossiping about what you're doing on the side. And what do you think? Do you think that sort of like made us immune to gossiping, or we're just like, it just happens because we're networking, so we're obviously going to gossip?
Some people just don't gossip. I've tried to like just get that out of them. Nothing. They'd just be like, no, they're good people. That person's good. I'm like, dude, just give me something, dude. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
man. How
I
does
look
that
like
work?
a dumb fuck here. Just I look very mean. You look very mean if the other person isn't gossiping. You just,
Yeah.
You just look like an asshole then.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
nice feeling.
What about this person who's not gossiping? Is this person outcasted now because, you're a good person, don't come to this party
I
ever
think
again?
they're also bullied for that. Like they're just, okay, moral high ground. Very Amitabh Bachchan of you.
Yeah, I get the moral high ground thing, but what if they're actually fucking nice? What if they're like...
Nobody's
Some
that.
gossip can be hurtful, and like a lot of people's careers have been ruined in showbiz, especially. You know, like word floats around, and secondly, then now your film's cancelled. Like a lot of people get cancelled on the internet because there was this rumor, and without like sort of checking all the details, that's it. That's you're branded as this. So some gossip can be really hurtful.
I know it's hurtful and it sucks when there's rumors floating around, but it's also the fact that when you look at it from the other side, you know this about the industry. You know it is like this. You know how people's mentalities are as Indians specifically, or in general, like as an outsider, we love looking inside. We love looking inwards. It's like you're sitting outside a glass wall, a glass room, and you see all these people talking. You can't hear them. So you try and figure out what they're saying. You try to figure out, and then you make your own stuff up in your head because you want to be part of that inner circle, but you know you can't. So that's your way of being part of that. So it's very glamorous. It's very mysterious. That's why people...
I mean, we love celebrity gossip, but like some celebrity gossip is straight up about someone's character, right? Like they will be like, this celebrity is so difficult to work with. And we as the consumers of this gossip, we have no idea. We're just going to believe it, and we're going to be like, she's that kind of actor. Dude, there's like, I will form an opinion so quickly based on that one article. It's not even funny. Like there needs to be some kind of like, like a difference between will I believe this and will I...
You can't call them and ask them if it's true, so you just kind of have to believe
You
it.
have to believe it?
Yeah.
And I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel ki all the rumors at least that I've heard so far, which I felt ki ye to kabhi nahi ho sakta. There has been some grain of truth to it. So even if it's very exaggerated, there's something about that rumor which is there.
So basically, when people say you're loaded, there's some grain of truth in that.
I'm telling you I am. It's just my own fucking money. I'm tired of saying this.
Okay, Govind, this one's for you.
Okay.
So, have you, as a stand-up comedian, ever used a piece of private information
Yeah,
to make
I
jokes
already
about?
know. Sorry?
To make jokes about?
Yeah. I mean, on stage. No, not on stage.
What do you mean?
but
Where else?
to other comedians, I just immediately, if someone tells me something, I'm not gonna keep that to myself.
No, but have you ever used that to get inspiration from, your life and make a joke about a piece of
Not on
gossip?
stage. I think that's too far.
Never?
No, not on stage.
I mean, Govind, nothing's too far for you. Come
Not on stage, but everywhere else. See, I tell 100 people alag se.
No, but what if you
individually.
can make a really funny story out of it
See?
and the person doesn't know? But
Content
it's
is
like,
king.
that's like it's an instance that you can really milk in the content. Will you not do it? Have you not done it?
Not yet. I really haven't. I'm sorry.
Wow,
I'll
somebody
leave.
Somebody
I'm
has a high
sorry.
moral
I'll get
ground.
someone who
Suddenly-
has. I'll get someone who has.
You are that person. You are your own shadow. You are that person you hate
Sorry.
who doesn't gossip.
I just don't want to do it on stage and then like for that person to be like, yo, what the?
I just
I'm
can't
sorry.
digest it.
It's like suddenly you care about feelings, which is kind of like...
No, it's not about their feelings. It's not about their feelings. I just don't want to have a confrontation. It's nothing
Got
else.
it.
It's
Ah,
not
that's
about
fair.
their.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got
It's
it.
not about
So
their
you would
feeling-
rather
Did
be
you guys
an
think it was about
anonymous
their
Twitter
feelings?
account. You would rather be an anonymous Twitter account shitting on
or like
people.
a Reddit thread.
Yeah. Yeah. A subreddit
Oh my
person.
god. Can we talk about the Reddit thread that's been all the rage right now?
InstaCelebGossip.
I don't say anything. It just came out of your mouths. Are you
Yeah.
on
R
it?
slash InstaCelebGossip.
Ah.
That's the exact.
What do you have to
Yeah.
say about that page?
I feel like it's made me a worse person checking that subreddit every day.
Oh, I stopped doing it. I did it once and it didn't give me a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So then I just didn't. Like,
It
I
doesn't.
don't look at it now.
There are like moments where I'm
Yeah.
like,
and it's
oh,
not even when I'm reading about myself and I hear like these are people I know of or I know, and it's just like, oh fuck, that's
Yeah.
so sad. Like it's not, they're not this person. So then I'm like, मैं क्यों पढूं यार इतना वो. If I think about something, if I know a gossip, I would rather like I would talk about it to someone
To
else, but I
people.
wouldn't fucking go on Reddit and read it.
Like,
Like,
why
these
did you judge me when I said I don't do it on stage?
but stage and Reddit are two different things.
yeah, because Reddit is anonymous, right? And that's why this page exists, because there's so many anonymous people who want to shit on influencers.
They don't want to take
Some
a
of
break.
them, yeah, they don't. Some of them, I would say they have good points. If they're not coming
Yeah.
at you and they're like, oh, bring this influencer
Yeah.
down, they have good points, good feedback noted. But come to my profile and maybe just drop me a
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to do that.
No, they
why
don't want
would-
to do that.
They're like you, they hate confrontation.
Yeah, yeah. They just want to hide behind
They wanna
that.
hide behind.
It's more fun that way. If it's public, then it's not fun because then they
And
can
it's
be a
also,
real...
I feel like maybe for them it's cathartic because you are hustling, right?
Hmm.
Right? Like you're grinding, you're getting your ass kicked at
and they
work.
get you.
And then, no, I'm not hustling.
No, I meant them.
Yeah,
They
they're
get to pull
hustling.
people down.
And then they come home and they see like me in France and they're like, ये France से बैठी है, मैं क्यों नहीं हूँ? जी चूतिया है. So it makes sense. Like I get it.
It actually does because they keep bitching about how these influencers make a lot of money.
A lot of money और इसमें कितना attitude है, इसके तो पास पैसे कितने हैं, ये तो ऐसे करती है. अरे है तो है.
Honestly, some of these people are just using it as a platform to like, oh, get back at you.
Yeah.
It's not even like that they have studied your content. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't like your face.
हाँ, it's that
I don't
only.
like
ये
your
मुझे
face.
पसंद ही नहीं है.
मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा क्यों नहीं पसंद है. Just they have their reasons. And
But it's fun
sometimes-
because sometimes some people cross the line and they put some pose. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then people comment being like, "This is normal, dude. What do you?"
yeah. Sometimes they break character. And they're like,
The others are like, "This is a little too much, dude. Chill, man. We're not that
take
bad."
a shower. That's fine. We don't have to say she's loaded. Vagmita, you were on a reality TV show. Let's talk about it. Social currency.
Yeah.
And my question to that is, if you in social situations, gossip is sort of your currency, right? You make your way into places that you would never be because you have the right gossip and you know the right people. Did you feel like at this TV show, did you find yourself gossiping more to make friends to stay longer in the show?
Nahi yaar, wahan pe there was surveillance constantly. Like you were being watched all the time. So it's like, you know, usually that voice is in your head that's like, oh, that's too far. But now it's like you constantly know you're being monitored. So some people sort of stop caring because they think that haan theek hai, okay, whatever. This is the world that I'm in. They don't think of like the larger world they have to again go out and be part of. And they thought ki bas yahi hai. So yahan pe hum kuch bhi karenge. And for me it was just like, no yaar, this is not who I am and I will not be pushed into doing things that I don't want to do. So yeah, for me it was that line was always there, that I'm not going to jeopardize my value system to be part of this, whatever the fuck this is.
But that's so hard to like tell
It
yourself.
is 21 days.
21, yeah.
And there are times when you think you're like, it's so easy to get swept up in that world that they create for you, because it's like first of all, you're sleep deprived. Okay, you have like 5, and you're sleeping under studio lights because they're shooting the fucking show live, right? All the time.
They don't turn the lights off when you're sleeping?
Yeah. And
there's no big boss like, I mean, those.
No, itna nahi high budget tha unka.
Oh, so I have to go to Big Boss.
Yeah, you can.
तो उसके बाद you're sleep deprived. ठीक है, कभी तुमने खाना नहीं खाया क्योंकि तुम्हारे पास इतने पैसे नहीं थे, तो तुमने कुछ जुगाड़ करके खा लिया. फिर you are put in really these stressful situations which are, and you are on edge all the time. Like they structure it in a way where it's like कुछ भी कभी भी हो सकता है. So always be aware. And they had this one alarm that they used to ring, and that in the show, I'm watching it 2 years later, it still gets my heart rate up. Like imagine that. So you're in that zone and you're like shooting for 10-12 hours a day. How easy is it to just regress from your super ego into your animalistic self because you're like, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
So the shit that you see there is your bare basic humanness, which will never be in society. Like this is who you are at your worst.
Yeah.
I saw people acting so well for 21 days. I'm like, even Shah Rukh Khan cannot do this. Like they were they had a persona on,
Shit.
which is like, Arey dekhiye, hum to kitne saaf suthre log hain. And then the moment the cameras turned off, bro, the shit they have said.
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm like, if the people who've said the worst shit on the show are actually the nicest. Because the nice people have said way worse things and done way worse things after the cameras have turned off.
I get that. Like,
After 21 days.
After 20, and I was like,
that's so much pent up.
I'm like, y'all deserve to be on this show because you have really aced this whole thing. Like, you have pretended for 21 days. That's insane.
wow.
Yeah.
But interesting. So, did you see sort of gossip as like a big part of the show in itself?
Yeah, I think because wahi hai na ki it's like gossip is the bare basic lowest form of making a connection is by shitting on other person. It's just that's why a lot of people that you have been friends with at that stage in life where you were not that interesting a person, where you were just in a low phase, those friends don't really, obviously you don't stick it out with them because they're still in that victim space where they want to keep shitting on other people, and you're over it. You're like, haan, theek hai, sometimes it's fine, but I can have intelligent conversations also. This is not just part of who I am.
That's the thing. Like, I think some of my closest friends are like people who I can freely gossip with. So, that doesn't make me a bad person.
But then if that's the basis of your friendship, it gets a little too much after a while.
It gets toxic because then it's like, are you talking to this person because you like them, or is it because you like shitting on other people with them?
Oh my God. But
because
like,
after a while you realize you don't know too much about them. They don't know too much about. It's just this random other person that both of you know a lot about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you saying it's a bad thing?
No, I mean not always.
Like,
but
you have
it
like
could be.
friends for gossip.
Yeah, it's good to be aware that this is a gossip friend. This is not a friend.
This is a friend.
It's good to know that.
This is a gossip friend. I don't believe anything she says, but I hear it out. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. What happened next? Okay, have you ever walked in on someone talking about you? Or like been in a conversation where you know who they're shitting on?
Yeah,
like I've walked in and the room has fallen silent, so I know they were talking about me.
Sometimes I feel like the room just falls. Like, that's also my intrusive thought, because I'm like, oh, now that I'm at this party, everybody is mad at me. They don't want me to be here. So I tell myself it's not because they were gossiping about me. It just happened coincidentally.
But it mostly is because they were
shit.
gossiping.
That's Wow, your mental state seems so much better. I've never thought that ever. I'm always like, it's
Yeah,
me.
like
It's obviously
they are
me.
obsessed with
Yeah.
me. Like, that's why I was out jealous bitches.
Have you ever been in a situation where like you got somewhere and they were clearly talking about you?
I mean, they've gotten silent, and then
That's an indication. That's a
then
very
I just
clear
pretend like I'm on my phone, so
Yeah.
that I'm like, hey, I don't know what the fuck to do right now, so I'll just be on my
had
phone.
someone share gossip with you and then share it immediately, even when they told you like not to share this with someone, but you still told somebody else?
I mean, yeah, all of it. No one should trust
just-
me
we have
with
a
gossip.
demon
Same. I'm also like
We
my
just-
best friend and my boyfriend immediately. I'm like,
There's,
"Chute ko pata hai."
there's no
Sorry,
way. I mean, I won't
this
tell everyone.
podcast, nobody has a high moral ground.
There's no.
I'm a self-aware asshole. I
Yeah.
like to say it like that. मुझे पता है कि मैं चूतिया इंसान हूँ, तो मत
That's a
trust
good
कर.
way to
I
put
like
it.
that. Like being self-aware sometimes can get in the way of happiness. I'm like, ये feelings कहाँ से आ रही हैं?
No, but then
Anxiety
it
or guilt?
liberates you because you're like कि everyone is messed up, so it's okay if I'm also messed up. मतलब you don't give yourself this illusion कि नहीं, I'm a nice person, there is niceness in the world, there is hope. नहीं, सब चूतिया है. मैं भी चूतिया हूँ. Okay.
God, okay, so that's your approach to life. Love it. हम सब चूतियाँ हैं. I think the gossip that I enjoy personally is like gossip that gives me information to stay safe and like look out for myself. Like you come and tell me, Surbhi, that guy you're dating, I saw him on the dating app. That's good gossip. I appreciate it as a friend. Oh, thanks for looking out for me. And then it could be your neighbor telling you, by the way, there's been a theft in your house. That's good. Thanks for looking out for me. That's good gossip and that's allowed. If it's all gossip is allowed, as you know. But I think good gossip especially should not be called gossip.
Yeah.
It should be called...
Information. That's just...
It's just not as fun as gossip.
Yeah.
It should be...
Yeah, it's like that couple that's always posting lovey-dovey pictures on social media is having a lot of trouble in
Yeah.
marriage. That is good gossip
That
because
is
I'm like, ये मुझे पता था, ये real नहीं.
Oh, that's always great.
It's
gossip.
normal to fight all the time with your boyfriend.
But I think it's been really fun to discuss gossip. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on why you love personally gossip so much?
I think because I can add jokes to it. I think it's just another way to just do jokes. That's it. Just to make it
Understood.
funny. If I do the gossip and then add jokes and people laugh at the jokes, it feels like I made the whole thing up. Even
get
though
that.
some of it might be true. It feels like, oh, they're laughing at my joke. That's it. It's just the need for validation.
I know, and sometimes the need for validation can make you say something really shitty about your friend. But I guess
But then it was funny. If it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, it was funny. What about you, Vagmita? What are your thoughts on gossip?
On gossip, I think it's fine. Yeah, once in a while when I'm really like feeling shitty about myself, it's okay to feel like other people are also shitty. So it's fine.
Okay, so
Yeah.
are you saying you should not feel guilty about gossiping?
Yeah. Because all of us are capable of doing the things that person is doing, which we are gossiping about.
All right, brings us to the end of our gossip sesh. I hope you enjoyed it. This was the Overthink Tank. Thank you so much, Govind Menon. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Vagmita. Oh, yeah.
Just follow me on Instagram.
Which
it's
is?
Govind Menon. It'll be here. I say that
We're
as if I'm
not
doing
putting it.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
It'll be
ourselves.
here, and on the side.
You can follow me on Instagram and gossip about me to my fucking face.
You are
Amazing. I like that. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Keep gossiping.